What's going on YouTube? Today we're working on this 2017 Subaru Impreza. It is the base model. We are replacing the rear wheel bearings. This is going to be a very quick video. These are very easy wheel bearings to replace. So let's get to it. Alright, the first step is going to be to remove the entire brake caliper. It is held on with two 14mm bolts. Just using my hammer to loosen up the snug bolts. Make sure you put these bolts someplace safe. Next, we're going to remove the brake caliper completely, flipping it over onto the upper control arm, making sure to not kink the brake line. And we do not need to press the piston back in because we're going to be putting everything back on as it comes. A few gentle taps on the rotor to loosen it. And if you're lucky enough, it'll slide right off. 32mm impact, removing the hub or CV axle bolt. Lift the vehicle up and you can see the 4 bolts that are needed to remove the wheel bearing. They are 14mm bolts. With an impact and a small extension, you should be able to get to them fairly easy. Alright, with a couple taps of the hammer onto the old hub, you should be able to break it loose from the handbrake. Here's the new one. Go ahead, slide it back into the handbrake assembly. And once you get it seated against the handbrake assembly, reach behind the axle and grab the CV boot, using that as leverage and a little wiggling vantage point to slide it onto the assembly. Grab one of the bolts removed and use that to line up the 3 holes. When you find that sweet spot, it'll click right in, just like that. And using your impact to just close up the threads a little bit. Do not impact this down yet. Wait until you have all 4 bolts started, so that way you don't have alignment issues in the future. I was able to put the bottom one in here, but ended up needing to raise the vehicle to reach the other 2. Wiggling the wheel bearing to help align it is a very good tack to use, and then go ahead and impact these down, making sure they're good and tight. If you want to put some lock thread on them, I would not be opposed to it, but it is not required for these ones for whatever reason. And go ahead and put the CV axle bolt back on. Impact it down. And go ahead and re-notch it to the CV axle spline. Get your brake clean and clean up that brake. Anything that you might have touched while doing the work, you might have gotten grease on it, and you definitely don't want any premature failure of your brake components. Sometimes these brake pads can get closer together as it's sitting, so make sure that you push those apart. And a little bit of wiggling and you'll have your caliper back on in no time. Go ahead and start the 2 14mm bolts by hand. And then tighten them down. And that's pretty much it. It's that simple. Go ahead and put your tire back on. If you need to do the other side, it's the same exact job, just in reverse, or mirrored, I guess. If this video helped you, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more videos like it, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.